My name's Kevin Cochran, and I'm a professional musky guide. Yep, and you should let it down a little bit.
Yep.
And just start working. Yep, there you go. You turn, good. There you go. Okay.
Holy crap!
What's up, guys? Welcome to Beyond the 8. I'm Kyle Fregis, and my lovely wife Victoria is behind the camera. And as most of you know by now, if you've been following along on our channel, we don't film a ton of local stuff. It's really difficult for us to tell a compelling story when we have 6 hours on a Saturday to fish, or I'm pulling an all-nighter. It's hard to film some of that stuff. So one of the things we wanted to do is actually spend our time outside of our main Shield Lake trips that we document and film and drop on the channel, is really kind of feature some of the folks in the muskie industry that maybe don't get the TV or YouTube spotlight. They're not featured in a ton of videos, and they run pretty cool programs, and they've reached out to us in terms of, let's jump in the boat together, let's do some filming. So this past winter at the Minnesota Muskie Expo, I got to meet Kevin Cochran for the first time in person. And Kevin is somebody that I've exchanged messages with over the years, and we've kind of become social media friends, and we finally met in person. And he said, well, why don't you come up and we'll do some filming, and we'll feature kind of his hat business as well as what he offers in terms of his guide service. So I'll let Kevin give you more information on his background. Kevin guides out of the Bemidji area, and we were a little bit worried that this trip was going to be canceled. It's June 30th right now, and if you guys are lining up the dates, you know that about a week ago, Bemidji was hit with a derecho following kind of the North Dakota tornadoes, 110-mile-an-hour straight line winds that absolutely devastated the town. I was actually up here last week and got to see a lot of the carnage. We drove through again just earlier today and kind of checked out all the progress that's been made. There's been a ton of cleanup, but there's still a lot of work to do in terms of the town. I know Kevin was personally impacted with one of his properties. He's actually with an insurance appraiser right now, so we're waiting for him to get to the boat landing. But we're super excited to fish with Kevin. Today's going to be mostly a Victoria video. I'll be running the cameras a little bit, and one of the cool things that Kevin does is Kevin was one of the first people to really embrace forward-facing sonar in terms of targeting muskies. So as you guys know, we don't run a ton of forward-facing sonar in our videos. It's a very controversial subject. I personally prefer to target them on structure, and I just don't want to stare at a screen all day. So I've personally elected not to use it a ton. So it'll be really cool to see how Kevin runs his program to ethically target them, whether that's on open water or break lines. And it'll also be cool to see some of the bait modifications he does to prevent deep hooking of fish and, you know, try and sustain the resources. Anybody who's done the open water program will know muskies tend to really engulf baits. So Kevin does some pretty cool tweaks to his tubes and his orbos and some other baits as well to prevent some of that deep hooking down in the gill area and prevent mortality on these fish. So there'll be a ton of cool stuff to highlight here today. We're super excited to jump in the boat with Kevin. We're just waiting for him to show up to the landing, and then we'll check back in with you guys.
What's going on?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Look at this thing.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good.
Yeah. How's it going? Good, how are you?
Good, your boat looks awesome.
Thanks. Yeah. I cleaned it up a little bit, had bugs all over it from last night.
Yeah.
There's some poop scattered throughout the cabin area. I bet. But
Good sign.
cool. It's a good sign.
Well, we got a bunch of stuff. You want us to throw it in?
Yeah, let's get it.
Okay. So this is your tube trick that you've been talking about on social media, right?
This is it. You're just going to change the hook locations. You're going to remove that back hook, and then essentially put one right here.
And the main reason for that is they just swallow tubes, right?
They swallow it. So then when they hit this in the head, it's going to be on a hinge. So when they hit this just like this, this cannot go down their in their gills or hang up in their gill arches, because you have this right here that's hinged, and this is going to be on the outside of the fish's mouth. So it can't. We got two yesterday, and both actually came off in the net.
Okay.
So
So effectively, it grabs on the outside of the mouth, preventing the bait from going too deep.
Yeah.
there
Yep.
was-
And all that is what, like an inch of wire that's shrink to?
Yeah, inch and a half of wire.
With a hook right there at the
I can
connection
actually
point.
pull that up.
Yeah.
So you have a split ring. You know, anybody can make a looped end with a pair of pliers and a piece of 5-1 wire. This is a Stealth Leader 20-inch fluoro, solid ring, solid welded ring. And this is important as well because you need that to stabilize the bait so it doesn't hang up on this hook. Once I get the hook anchored here with the split ring, that's what it's going to look like. It's all about saving the fish's life, you know. And I mean, I want other people to catch that fish. I want to catch other fish. I want my clients to catch that fish. So if I can do something to prolong its life and I guess minimize angler footprint, that's what I'm doing.
And are you running fluoro mainly because of the clear waters up here?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And even this little extension does help with like abrasion resistancy on your fluoro, because this is just, you know, that it's not going to get this fluoro down his throat, which is amazing. I love that. Yeah. For the Ninjas, I believe this is a 4-aught 3551. You can go 4s, you can go 5s. On the bigger tubes, I'll go 6s, 6-aughts. I have some 6-aughts right here, but I think like a 4-aught is fine for the Ninja. So I started doing this maybe 5 or 6 years ago when I was fishing a lake that had giant fish in it. It was a connected water. Nobody was fishing it, and there was no pressure. So fish were inhaling baits. So what I started doing is I would take the back tail or the back hook off of bucktails, and I would just kind of I would just cut that off, take it off, and then put an extra hook in the front of the bait, maybe 2 inches above the bucktails.
Sure.
And that worked amazing.
Sure.
Because when they were swallowing baits, then I had these hooks that actually hooked the fish and nothing in the gill arches. And you live and you learn. You have a couple really close calls or you lose a fish, and then you're like, man, I don't want to be put in that position again. I love catching these fish, but you know, you don't want to harm or kill them. And for me, it's my occupation, right? Like, so there's some days last year where we caught the same fish like four days apart and maybe 5 days apart, and there was a couple that were a couple days apart. Well, you know, I think it goes to show you too, just the amount of fish in a system is pretty finite, and you know, if you kill one, nobody's going to catch that fish, and your clients aren't going to catch that fish, and so then it's just less fish for anybody to catch. And for me, it equals like less success on the water. So then what I'll do here is I'll split this with the razor blade. And remove that. Just remove the hook. Yep. And then I'll re-shrink tube that right there.
And is that generally the hook you'll see get caught in gills? Is that why you're doing that, or why?
No, actually, this is the one that I see on the outside of the fish. You know, if they're hitting it head first, which is what they do all the time. I see this on maybe by their eyes. So this is kind of a sketchy hook in general. And if all these fish head hunt this bait, so when they're doing that, you know, you have the fish just like this. Well, this automatically always gets caught on the outside of the fish's jaw. Sure. These fish are pretty precise in how they hit baits. So unless you're working a bait very erratically, I see their accuracy just right here. And that's where it is. And then this gets the outside of their jaw, the outside of their face. So I don't want this. I don't want this in their eyes. I don't want it in the top of their head. I'd rather just fully remove this hook.
It's interesting you say that, because I do something similar with my Suics, where I will remove the rear hook and move the second hook back a little bit further,
Sure.
because oftentimes they head hunt those baits and that rear hook gets caught in the gill plate, around the eyes, etc. And I have a lot of people that comment on my videos saying, I don't like the 2-hook setup, I like having 3 for hookups, and I always have to respond with, well, it's more of a safety for the fish thing than it is a hooking percentage play, right? It's
Absolutely.
trying to maintain that resource and protect them.
And just reduce your footprint on that fish. And if I can release a fish and it physically look like I never caught it, that's a good thing.
Right.
You know, that's why I'm so just maybe preemptively, I'm always cutting hooks right away. I don't even mess around. If I see a fish is hooked inside the mouth and it's easy for me to cut, I'm cutting. And hooks are cheap. You go to like Thorn Brothers and buy hooks, buy 30 or 40 of each size from 3/0 to 8/0, and you're covered. Yeah, having a setup like this is a non-issue for hooking. You remove that back hook. It's just cleaner. It's a cleaner. You know, it's easier for you to unhook too if you have 2 hooks right here, and you're not worried about the back one. You're not worried about popping the back one. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Ninja tube. Mm-hmm.
That'll get bit.
It'll get bit. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Ready?
It's the yellow is moving. Keep that in mind, okay? Okay. Yep. Go ahead. Yep. No, it's good. Yep. And she can let it down a little bit.
Yep.
And just start working. Yep. There you go. He turned. Good. There. Got it. Okay.
Holy crap!
There you go. Doing good.
Okay.
Keep that same angle.
Okay.
You're good. You're good. You're good. I see the. Lift it up. Okay, good. And look at, hey, I really want you to look at that bait. Look at how the bait is positioned right now.
That's
So
awesome.
we got a bait on the outside of the face, that's what you want. I know we're all getting wet here.
Yeah.
But see that?
Yeah,
That's what you're looking for.
Exactly.
So that top hook, it keeps the extended top hook keeps the bait's top hook, the next hook, out of the fish's gill arches and gills. So when you put that extension on the top, that is clutch. You got to do it. There she is. Nice fish.
Yeah, it's a nice fish. Kevin got him out of the bag. Gonna measure him.
Yeah, 43.
Oh, 43, just about.
Yeah. Here we go. Come on over. There you go. I'll get out of the way here. Then you can just push it out.
Sweet fish.
Okay,
Over here.
right in there. Yep. There you go. Where's we want to go? Yeah. See ya.
Here we go. All right, Kevin. Tell us how long you've been guiding up here.
Been guiding in Northwest Minnesota for 21 years. So quite a long time. Started guiding, I guess, in kind of the heyday of Minnesota musky fishing, 2005. So I think that was maybe the first year that the Brad Hoppy came out of the Cowgirl, started using those. Obviously, we caught a lot of fish on big blades back in the day, and that was kind of the peak of, in my opinion, Minnesota musky fishing, was those mid-2000s, and even before that too, but you really saw numbers of anglers increase in that 2005 to 2010 range. So, you know, I fish some of the trophy waters up here
Bemidji Cass Lake area, and we were really fortunate right off the bat to start catching like giant fish, mid 50s, like 54s, 55s. Were actually fairly common, and you know, this is obviously before the electronics boom, and you know, we casted spots, you know, 10, 12 hours a day, and we were just grinding back then. It wasn't as, I guess, technical maybe as it is now, to where you have to time everything just right. Usually you have to have your bait at the exact specific spot, moon overhead, moon underfoot, or sunrise, sunset, something like that. But yeah, I guess back then it was pretty crazy. We put in some big numbers in a week, and I was just really fortunate to be at the right place at the right time. And then at that time, we had one guy, Brian Truax. He was really the only guide in the area that was established, the Musky guide. And then I came in too, and we had a huge area in which we guided. And I mean, definitely the right place, the right time, and everything kind of worked out. And it's been a long road, and we're still grinding every day. And I many days I do numerous trips. I do two trips a day, like a 9-hour and a 4-hour. And I stack them. So, and I'm feeling it. You know, I've been guiding for 21 years, and I'm starting to feel the just abuse that I put myself through day in and day out on the water, you know, all summer long. But you know, it's something that I enjoy doing, and I absolutely love where I'm at, this part of the country, and I'm really fortunate to be doing it. There's 3.
Right
See
there,
them?
40.
See 3 of them? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all right. Keep in mind that's moving.
Yeah.
Yep, see it? Go ahead. There you go. There you go. Start working it. Yep, there you go. There you go. Here you go.
Got it.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Is it a nice one?
Sure feels like it.
Yep. Oh yeah. Got her. There we go.
Whew.
Good job. Look at the hooks.
Nice.
Again, both the hooks are on the outside of the fish's mouth. You got the hook right there, and then you've got this one right there.
Right on her lip.
That is perfect.
What a
the
beautiful bite.
The corner of the mouth, and then just like I said, the outside of the face.
Yeah. Well, we just had like 3 different muskies just under the water, like 5 to 10 feet down, and cast it out at them. 2 pulls went right across the top, and this one smashed my bait. So I'm gonna pull her out and take a look. A little bigger than the last one, maybe not lengthwise, but definitely girthwise. It felt bigger. Felt heavier anyways.
And you can even see by the white on the outside of their mouth, that's where the fish was hooked. So, you know, we didn't need to cut. She just smashed the bait. We unhooked her right away, and she's doing great. Still, oh man, she's still really feisty.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. We'll get you. Oh yeah, 44 and a half.
44 and a half.
Here you go. You got her?
Yep.
Ooh, that looks like a nice fish. Ready?
Ooh, she is heavier.
Yeah, I can tell right now.
Hang on, there's one on. Sorry, girlfriend.
Wow.
Good job. Oh, she's pretty. Wow, she's thick.
Yeah.
Tell us about Headwaters Hat Co.
Okay, so I guess it kind of started. I was scrolling social media and I saw a really cool like camo design. I'm like, wow, you know, like, all right, well, maybe I could get my guide logo on that hat. And then I just kind of brainstormed a little bit, and I talked about it with some friends. And so I just took the Musky from my guide logo, and I put it on a leather patch, and immediately we sold like 100 in the first week. So I knew, you know, okay, well, let's pump the brakes. Let's kind of start formulating some kind of a business plan, and let's have more direction than just this. So then we started talking to artists that could that could, you know, they work for like Orvis and Sims and some of the really big companies, and they contract out to these companies. And I said, well, I started contacting them, and I just wanted to see if this was a possibility to where I could hire them to do some artwork, put it on a patch or a shirt, and then just go from there. So we started doing that, and things just really took off.
Yeah.
So it's something that I do in the winter. I travel to sport shows in conjunction with my guide service, and yeah, I mean it's great. We love it, and we're bringing products to the market that are extremely unique, that maybe have that like old school Americana feel, with angling, and I don't think there's just nothing out there in the market like it. So.
No.
You know, I'm pretty blessed to have like my family behind me, as well as some really talented artists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Super cool. Yeah, so you're working with really awesome artists. So is it always the same artist drawing, or
No, it's not. I have a couple guys that do work for me, and one guy really has the ability to understand exactly what I'm telling him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm like, all right, well, I want this, like this, Musky jumping through a hoop of fire, like ringleader type mentality, and he just puts it, you know, in his iPad, and then he just starts coloring and tracing, and he kills it. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have so many fun patches. And people can buy your patches too, right?
Sure. Yeah, I've got some patches online on my website that are for sale, and if they have like a specific hat that they like, that they don't necessarily want to buy one of my hats, buy a patch, right? Yeah. And you can take it to a local shop. Typically, it's like $4 to $6 to sell a patch on.
Yeah.
So
you got stickers too.
There's that option: stickers, decals, yeah.
Warm hats, winter hats.
Got some winter hats, yeah. I got some Sims winter hats, and then also just knit hats too, beanies, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then anything new coming out this year?
So on Monday, Tuesday. Today's Monday. Tuesday, I'm getting a batch of our first batch of actual shirts. So it's kind of that old school camo design, similar to what I have on here, and with our Musky logo on the back, our actual Headwaters Hatco that you would typically see like on our Instagram page. That logo on the back, and then a small logo on the front. So
nice.
Super excited to start throwing out some apparel.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something that I really wanted to do. I wanted to cross over because, you know, guys love our apparel, and then some guys may not be hat guys. Well, then also something you run into too is you know, people want to try on hats before they buy them, right? So I get that too. I'm like, all right, well, this hat really I don't really like this style of hat, or this doesn't fit me. Well, now you can buy our logos embossed on shirts. So, and we are doing fishing shirts like this. As soon as I line everything up with Sims, that's something that we're going to do with Sims.
Nice.
So, big things coming down the pipe.
Yeah, fun.
This is crude on the boat. Just making things work. Solid welded ring. Like that. Get a couple loops going here. There we go. There. Cutting this. If your eyelet is going this way, like this, you want it to go that way over here as well. It's pretty close. And what I'll probably do is just do a looped end right here, and then attach a split ring to the Zilla. So you can use it. It can be versatile. You can cut the shrink tubing and then use a tube, or you could use another bait as well, instead of just marrying this to that Zilla. Just like this. And your hook will go right here. I think so many people are afraid to deviate from standard hook placement because, you know, they only get like maybe one or two strikes a day from a muskie. They don't want to take any chances, right? So, but I can assure you that you're not taking any chances if you do this. You know, your hooking percentage will go up, and also the safety of the fish is paramount. I might put a little piece of shrink tubing right here to stabilize this, and then a vertical shrink tubing over the shaft of the hook, and then one to the Zilla. So just bear with me. And last but not least, the Zilla. Just like this. Just like that.
Like we touched on earlier, that shrink tube's super important because it adds rigidity to that wire lead there and keeps that hook on the bait.
And there's no movement too, so if you're jerking it, there's no movement on that bait. So this is just an extension of the bait itself, where if you didn't have this shrink tubing and you were trying to jerk it, this would, I think it would just, and it has, I've tried it without it, it would just wrap up. There it is, it's finished. I'd rather have you way back there than way in front of it. And just work it, yeah. There you go. Just like that. Yep.
Got it. I watched that happen. It's so cool. Oh. Oh. This might be a walleye.
I know, I told you. It is.
It is a walleye. Oh my god.
What I tell you? What I tell you? I said
That
it's a
is
freaking
sweet.
giant walleye.
That is a giant.
All right, that's a giant walleye. You want to cast at it?
Yeah.
And let's look at how it was hooked. Perfectly in the corner of the mouth.
Right.
Oh
on the
yeah.
corner.
That thing
Beautiful.
did not care, did it?
Oh my gosh. Smack.
Send that to your dad.
I'm going
Right?
to. He literally just texted back and he goes, "Guess you don't want dinner," because he's always complaining that musky fishermen
I'd
don't.
say we got dinner for all three of us.
Yeah.
That's a cool fish, man. It's a big one. I knew it was pretty good size, but I also didn't think it was a muskie. Like if that could be a really big walleye or a 32
When it
inch
hit,
muskie.
I thought it was a muskie.
Yeah, yeah. When I saw it shoot like that, I'm like,
Oh, it
that's
flew.
a special fish. That's just not just a little walleye. Wow.
Oh, not quite.
Yeah, 26 3/4. Yeah.
I would have guessed it was bigger.
Yeah, same. But I think just the head.
So this is a hot topic. Tell us when you started embracing the forward-facing sonar.
So I believe it came out in iCast in 2018, and I bought it months later, maybe 7 or 8 months later in November. I didn't really get a chance to use it in November of 2018. 2019, of course, I used it a lot. And then at the time, there wasn't really any cool mounts out. There wasn't any like functional mounts out where you can mount it to a pole. So I just had to like rig some like ghetto ram mounts together, and okay, I've got this mount, and then I'm starting to do like just some different things and checking structure. Typically what I did that first year or two would run my boat parallel to structure, see if there's any fish on the spot, and if there are, obviously we're going to fish that spot. You know, years go by, and then every year, every couple months, I just kind of start breaking things down differently, and talking to some of my other friends that are hardcore anglers, and refining my tactics to what they are now. And obviously I've got them placed at specific locations in my boat where I could go a set speed, find fish a lot easier. If that's casting a spot, then we cast a spot, or if it's casting at a specific fish, we can do that too. So I would think, I think like the actual refinement into what it is today is it took me, I mean, it took me like 6 years to do to where I'm at, and efficiency is right there. I'd say at pretty peak performance.
Yeah.
So
I'd say so.
yeah. That being said, I mean, it's forward-facing sonar obviously it's a hot topic, right? Is it what I was brought into musky fishing? No. I mean, this isn't how we were brought in. This isn't the tactics that we were doing, you know. And even before forward-facing sonar, we would run spots with side imaging, and if there's fish there, like specific weed beds and break lines, then we're going to fish it, right? If there's not fish there, then we're not going to fish it. So obviously that wasn't real time, and this is real time. There are some people that think that it crosses the line of fair chase. You know, I'm not here to make a decision either way. I do think, like, as far as like an efficiency in my job, I'm extremely efficient and precise and productive right now, and safe too. I've found ways to modify baits to make things very safe for the fish. Obviously not targeting deep fish that are down like 25 to plus feet. I'm not going to look at them. I'm not going to target them. You know, fortunately here, like today, everything we're seeing is maybe even in the top 10 feet. So there's ethics involved. There's, you know, people's own interpretation to what fair chase is. And I'm whatever it is what it is. You know, I want to put my clients on fish in a safe and effective way. And I think I'm doing that.
Yeah. Do you ever miss the old ways of doing this musky fishing thing?
Absolutely, I do. You know, but my body may not miss it. Yeah. You know, but I like my just outlook and my perspective. I do miss the grinding spots out, the searching for fish, you know, everything that comes along with traditional, I guess, traditional casting. I love catching muskies, whether that's, you know, forward-facing sonar, casting specific spots. You know, a lot of times in September, we're not using anything forward-facing. We're just beating up the reeds and the shallow rocks and the gravel, and I love it. You know, I love all aspects of it. So I think the biggest thing is it done in a safe way where you're creating minimal angler footprint and not harming fish. You know, I think that's the biggest thing that's on my mind all the time.
And if you're a true musky fisherman, that should be your goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You want to save the fish, and if they find out all of a sudden that like there's, you know, forward-facing sonar is destroying fisheries, well, then something has to be done, right? So from what I've seen specifically this year, fish have been avoiding forward-facing sonar. If they've gotten hit with a beam, sometimes I'll see them go all the way down to the bottom, and until the beam is no longer hitting them, and then they'll come up. So I think, you know, like specific tactics, for example, like trolling open water from, I think maybe 2004, 2003 or 2004 up until maybe 2015, trolling open water was amazing. You know, we just smashed fish all day long for 10 years, and I would get them in June just trolling open water with planer boards and 14-inch jigs, and even bucktails and pounders and all sorts of crazy stuff. You know, however, the fish definitely adapted, and they put a kicker motor or that outboard motor, or maybe even the silhouette or the movement of a planer board. They associated that with pain. So, I mean, like, you could not buy a trolled fish in 2016, 2017 at all. So fish do have the ability to adapt. And I think that's kind of what we're seeing here too. Yeah. This year we're seeing a lot of fish on structure, and they're not even making that journey to open water. And is that because of angling pressure? I don't know. I just know that they're not over open water, and the 2 fish we caught this morning were on break lines. So, you know, I think like these fish have the ability to adapt and overcome and survive. And sometimes I think they're a lot smarter than us.
All right, guys, super fun day on the water with Kevin. It's not really what you're used to seeing out of our channel, using forward-facing sonar to target muskies and whatnot. That hasn't been our style in the past. And going into the season, I was trying to keep an open mind about technology, and the one thing I committed to over the off season and through the winter was that a little black box wasn't going to prevent me from getting in the boat with buddies. It wasn't going to prevent me from getting in the boat with new people and making friends and being able to network as part of, you know, the musky community. So I'm glad we went out with Kevin today. We learned a ton about it. We got to see how he runs this program, and hopefully the video we put together here shined maybe a new light on the use of the tech for some of you out there, and we all go into the rest of the season with an open mind here and enjoy our time on the water with our family and friends. That's what it's really all about at the end of the day. So with that, we're signing off here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next spot.